What's up guys, it's Alex here with another exciting video about the Ford Mustang Ecoboost. Today we're going to talk about cost of ownership for the 2015, or I suppose you could run the 2016 Ford Mustang Ecoboost into this as well. So first things first, the main thing we're going to talk about is not car payments, because everybody's going to have a different credit score. Everybody's going to buy the car at a different dealership. So let's not talk about that. Let's just say you straight up bought the car cash and you're just looking at the overall maintenance. All right, so this car I bought on what was it, July 11th, 2015. Right now, May 10th, it has 26,000 miles on it. A little bit under, like 25.9, whatever, doesn't matter. Point being is that it has a lot of miles on it. I drive a lot more than the average person. I've taken a car to North Carolina, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Pensacola, almost took it to Texas, but that didn't happen. So it's been all over the place and it has the miles to prove it, and it has the scars to show. Regardless, so let's talk about the simple stuff first, oil changes. For the oil changes, I go to Napa, pick up the liquid moly with a Wix filter. That runs around $60. I want to say I change the oil at least once a month. That's how much I drive, which I'm very anal about the condition that my oil is in. I beat the crap out of my car every single day. So another person may say, oh, you know, if you use a full synthetic oil, you may last 5,000, 10,000 miles. I'm not going to run that risk. When I check my oil and my oil is looking darker than my skin, I change it. So maybe not even once a month. Let's say every month and a half to 2 months, okay? So let's do that. That's going to be $60. And next is going to be fuel cost. Fuel cost that you're looking at is, I mean, if you think about it, usually an average person fills up their car once a week. As of right now, with the fuel prices, for premium fuel, you're paying right around between $2.50 to $2.65, $2.70, depending on where you go. I try to go to Shell. I like Racetrack. They have a decent quality fuel, at least in my area. And that's really it. I prefer Shell over everybody else. But if I have to, like, there's your Sunoco, BP, supposed to have decent gas. I have a gauge on my Cobb Access port, which lets me know when I've pumped bad gas. And I've had a bad experience with Hess and another chain. Doesn't matter, I'm not gonna bash you, whatever. So with Racetrack, again, locally here where I am, and Shell, BP, 7-Eleven, I've never had an issue with. But again, if I can, I'm always there to get Shell if it's in the area. Otherwise, like I said, Sunoco, or if nothing's around, Racetrack is right down the street from my house. So that's more of a convenience factor there. So that runs, let's say $30. And even for weekend activities, for example, like if we go to Mexico or Cuba, that'll be another $10, $15. So let's call that $45. Next, we're going to have tires. Depending on how you drive, depending on what you do with the car, you may need to go through tires more often than others. You may not need to bother with tires for 30, 40, 50,000 miles. I'm on my second set because I autocross the car, I drag race the car, and I do stupid shit in the car. These tires, I got a deal on them. They had like 90% tread left, and I got them for $100. Can't really complain about that. Usually tires like this, these on the rear, they're 265 40/19s and Pirelli P0. Basically the same as you get with a car from the factory, but 10 millimeters wider. So I paid $100 for those, and again, this is more of a tally sheet of maintenance for myself rather than you. If you look around, you can always find a deal, but the odds of you finding, you know, tires that are that good for $100 may be very slim, but you know, you may be able to find a better deal, or, you know, pay a little more. So regardless, that's what I paid for them. Next, we have the air filter, which I changed almost the day I got the car. And then that was originally $5. And then we got a green filter, which was $50. Next, we did spark plugs, which was from Adam's website, TuneUp or adamtune.com. Pre-gapped, super awesome. I'm gonna have a video on those actually, because I'm about to change these again. So actually, not just to make it 45, we're going to have to make it 90 because I'm about to change them again for the car. Next thing that we have We have oil. I think that's really it as far as what goes into it. The next thing we would have to discuss is like insurance, for example. And depending on where you are, and depending on how your credit and your driving history is, it can be anywhere from $150 to, you know, and in some cases I've read $200 and plus a month. So on average, I'm gonna say that I pay around $145 just to keep it kind of low key. That's the running average anyhow from everybody that I've spoken with. So that's what we're gonna go with for this video. And what else do we really have to add? That's really it. Now the main thing here is that like the cost of fuel and oil will all have to be multiplied. So right now we're looking at $495. That's $495 to run the car, and that's one oil change, one set of plugs, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So that's where we stand right now. So if you were to do all of this work in 1 month, you would be at $450, because remember I added the spark plugs in there twice. So let's go ahead and do this. We had oil at $60 and we had fuel at around $45 a week. Okay, so that we put in there. So what we're going to do is you're going to take 45 divided by, or sorry, multiplied by 4. That's going to be 180. You're going to add 60 to that, because again, I said myself that I change my oil maybe once a month. So you know what, let's make it 45 just to offset that month and a half. So that's already 225. Okay, so plus 145, which you said is for insurance, $370 a month just in that. So if we take that, we multiply it by 12, that's $4,440. Now what we're going to do, we're going to add our 45 for the spark plugs and our 100 for the tires. Makes it $4,585 in a 12-month period to own and maintain this car. Now, if you have the car with higher mileage, you know, you're going to need brakes, fluids, you know, other things may or may not go. So that'll also skew the results a little bit. But in general, unless there's a major service coming, you're right around $4,500. Let's say you're right around $4,500 to $5,000. That's going to be your average running and maintenance cost to own an EcoBoost Mustang. Now again, the quality of oil that you choose is really up to you. You can go, you know, to Ford and get the cheapest of the cheap oil changes for $29.95. But again, you want longevity out of the vehicle. That's why I do the things that I do. That's why I'm so anal on oil changes, plugs, and just maintenance in general, is because I want the car to last. I don't want it to be a technicality where, you know, somebody says, oh, well, you know, this was bad or this was bad, and have it be my fault because I neglected maintenance on the car. That's really it. I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget, it's not over until you win. Thank you so much for watching. So we just pop that off really easy. So then what we'll do is just gonna there's new stuff coming as far as the intercooler is concerned. I was speaking with Mike. He had a message stating that they're going to ship out on Friday or Saturday. Yes, we are getting some tires and some potentially new wheels just for the rear for the drag setup. We're going to try to tune it for meth and the 85, so that's something to look forward to. A big turbo. I've been looking at other companies, I've been talking to people. It may be something that we can do at the end of this year. Not really sure, but you know, we're going to just roll with it and see where we're going to get. I'm still on the mission of getting the car into the low 11s. So we'll see where that leads us. That's really it. I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget, it's not over until you win. Thank you so much for watching.